Hi, and welcome to another WebRTC Fiddle of the Month. And this time we're going to talk about video aspect ratios. Philip, what do you have for us?
So we have a very simple fiddle that is not doing much WebRTC. It's just calling get user media and then rendering the video in different video elements with different CSS properties. And the difference between them is quite dramatic.
Okay.
So what we do is we call get user media with a 4480 resolution over here, and then we attach it to 4 different elements. So nothing fancy. The trick here is that we use a very different width and height on the video element. So the aspect ratio there is 16:9 instead of the 4:3 that we call get user media. And the first video is shown just without any CSS properties, apart from a 3-pixel solid black border, just for visualization. So we know that this is a video element, this is how big it is. And we have the video and we see I think it's called letterboxing, right?
I don't know. And the white stripes on the sides, whatever.
Yes. And that's the default behavior of the video element. Now, if we look at the second video element, we have the object fill property, and that basically takes the video and squeezes it in that direction. So it takes
Or
the
the other.
4:3. Yes, depends on the input resolution and the video element
Okay.
size.
So it would just change the ratio and stretch it to one of the borders.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's basically trying to fill the video element with the video provided. And the third variant is to have the cover property, and that is in this case pretty bad because you can see in the original video we have the timestamp shown at the top, but in the cover version, which is this one here, we don't see it.
I guess pretty bad is the eye of the beholder.
Yes,
I can
but
give an example here. Let me change the layout of this video. Okay, so it changed, like it decided to crop us differently than what it did earlier, or like this one,
yes,
or this one.
yes.
So
I mean, if you
yeah.
have some intelligent cropping, then it's okay to do that, but you might end up cutting people's faces in.
I can just move, at least if I see myself. I mean, I see myself in order to do that.
Yes.
So I guess
And
that
we know that this
is,
causes fatigue and
no, what I mean is that as long as I see myself in the local view, so I
you
can
will
align
adapt.
myself, yes, towards
Yes.
whatever is not viewed to me as the whole camera image, but rather what is seen by the other side as well, then that should be fine.
Yes.
Okay. So I want to go through this in another way, taking it from a different angle. And let's play with the layout again. And that would be this that we just did for this purpose. So we have this Muppet in our video, courtesy of Midjourney, obviously. And we want to place him in this video element that we have on the screen. So what we essentially said is that we've got 3 different alternatives. The first one is to use contain. And when we contain it, it will simply go and find the edges of that video element, and it will fill it up to 2 of the 4 edges that we have. The other 2 will simply stay as stripes. Here we made them red just to show the differences. The other option would be to use cover. And what happens here, we're going to enlarge the screen so that all the edges of the video element are covered. And if there's anything that is outside of our viewport, we're going to simply crop that out, which is what you see here is like watermarking or whatever. So these are the parts that we lost of our image. And the third one, and in a way the ugliest, if we're going to do this for humans, is to fill. And what we do here, we are going to stretch the image to whatever horizontal or vertical element that we need, aspect ratio, and change the aspect ratio in order to fit that into the screen exactly while not losing pixels.
And
Okay?
in this picture, it looks okay, but if you compare it with a real human, it doesn't look good.
Yes, I also think that this is partly because the image here is 3 by 2 and
Mhm.
not 4 by 3, so it's a bit closer to the 16 by 9 that I use for the video element. And also, you mentioned earlier before we started recording that sometimes we are on the phone and we are rotating it.
Yes.
So now the screen ratio changes like considerably. And we need to
Yes.
take into account that as well on mobile devices.
Yes. It makes it even harder. Yes.
Okay. So thank you, Philip, and see you in the future in another WebRTC Fiddle of the Month.